in the studio for us to take the conversation from here. Effiong Ekop Market Editor, TVC News. Effiong, it's the start of September, and you know we started this flip-flop again since Monday. But let me allow you take charge and do an overview of what's been happening this week.
We expect that the markets will be up and doing, responding to what is in the media. Exactly, because human beings are the ones going to trade and close each day in the markets, and the emotions that they take from their homes on the streets down there will reflect in what we see. Yesterday you were asking why is it that majority of the big banks were trading in red. So many people were selling off need to hold, cash to be able to meet up with your daily expenditure. So, but we've seen a reverse today. The index up 0.23%. It was down 3.45 yesterday. And so improvements. Some of the banks that recorded lower indices, they seem to be up. We've seen First Bank, UBA, Zenith, Owando that got down yesterday. Owando is up, let's say about 10%. So there's a renewed interest in the picking of securities somehow. Then on the other side, you've seen a big telecom company, MTN, then the cement company, WAPCO, GC, Dangote Sugar, Access, all of them, down. So investors are not, showing this great enthusiasm, to be going to the market with huge funds as we used to know. So they respond to basically the pressure that the inflation has brought, to their homes and their offices. All of us, we look forward to the government, whichever agency of the government needs to help us, whether from NMPC, from Ministry of Finance, from Central Bank, any government agency that has responsibility to, come in and bring this particular troubles that we are having down. We look up, forward to them, and that's what we are expecting. That's what we are waiting for in the market.
I'm looking at what we should be looking at even for next week, because we're hoping that the product is available and maybe the pressure starts to subside as we move into the next week.
Well, I don't think that next week will be much different from what we see this week. Between now and next week, those who want to sell, they will take care of themselves first by hoarding parts of whatever they have, then before they think of, before it can trickle down and then we have normalcy. It will still be something close into this. All in all, we think that this is not the best that we deserve. We do not deserve this as a nation that has so much natural resources and human capital. We don't deserve this.
I must thank you so much, Effiong Ekop there, my colleague, speaking around markets and, of course, how the economy affects the figures that we are seeing at this time.
Thank you, Tolu.
Have a great weekend.
I will.
All right, let's take you outside our shows. The world shares held near 3 weeks lows today. The dollar nursed losses as investors waited for U.S. job data that could decide the size and speed of coming rate cuts in the world's largest economy. European shares opened lower and slipped for a fifth straight session. The pan-European stock 600 index was last down 0.6%, and German DAX index was 0.5%. After data showed the country industrial production fell by 2.64% in July. U.S. equities markets ramped downwards. Nasdaq futures fell 1.15%, while S&P 500 slipped 0.6%. MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside Japan heading towards 2.8% drop for the week. The Shanghai Composite Index closed 0.81%, while the blue chip CSR 300 index ended 0.81% lower. Hong Kong stock markets were shot ahead of a super typhoon Yagi's expected landfall along the coast of Hainan Province. Nickel dropped 0.7% as yuan dropped weighed on the outlook for Japanese exports. AI chip maker Titan Nvidia experienced the worst day in the history of stock markets yesterday. As measures by loss in total market value, Nvidia had ridden by the AI hype wave to become one of the most valuable brands on the planet, achieving a $3 trillion valuation that puts it among giants like Apple and Microsoft. Its 9.5% share price declined by $279 billion, outpaced the previous record of $240 billion set by Meta in 2022. Largest individual shareholders and chief executive officer of the company, Mr. Jensen Huang, lost $10 billion in wealth from Nvidia's sharp tumble. Now, the company has been in decline since June 18, when it topped the value was about 3.3 trillion in value, and that's the highest for any public company. All right, then let's take you further and to the crude oil production market. The coalition of world top oil producers, known as Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and its allies, says it is extending oil production cuts once again as crude and fuel prices continue to fall. The country making up the organization will extend their production cuts of 2.2 million barrels per day through November and plans to phase out those voluntary cuts beginning from December till November 2025. OPEC Plus has restrained output for about 2 years to prevent a huge supply surplus that could weigh on prices and hurt the oil-dependent economies of its member states. The group in June lengthened the 2.2 million barrels per day's quote through the end of September and extended a quote of 1.65 million barrels per day in April 2023 to the end of 2025. And crude oil prices ticked up in Asian trading on Friday, with investors exercising caution ahead of key U.S. employment data as they weighed a big withdrawal from U.S. crude inventories and a delay to production hikes by OPEC Plus producers. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude sells at $69.12 per barrel, with a price decline of 0.04%. Brent also experienced an upward price margin of 0.04% to sell at $72.72 per barrel. Bonnie Light sells at $78.62, down 2.84%. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $73.67 with a downward price margin of 3.43%. Well, that's our show today and for the week. Well, on behalf of the entire production crew, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Stay safe, get busy, and make some cash. I'll see you on Monday.